Hey everyone, this is Lisa from TRW, and in this video I'm going to be using two bags from my Target haul video. These are two little pouches from the Target Dollar Spot. They're 100% polyester, and so I wanted to see if this new Siser metal bronze color would work on these. Now we do have a couple issues with bags like this because they are textured, and typically when you press to a bag like this, I use a different material that can be done in shorter presses and peeled hot. So one thing about the Siser metal is that it is a cold peel. So we're going to test it out, see if it works out, and let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so now I'm going to set up my monograms in the software. So I have my little jewelry bag, which I think is really cute. I think I'm going to do a circle monogram for this one. And then I have this little pouch, like this little cosmetic pouch, or as they say, multi-purpose organization. And so this one I'm going to use the heart monogram. All right, so we're gonna go through and I'm going to type out my monogram. I'm gonna do L, lowercase l, P, M. All right, so this is gonna be the circle one. So I'm gonna select my font and we're gonna do TRW circle mono. And you can see this first option here says 2L for 2 letters. I'm doing 3 letters, so I'm gonna do 3L. All right, so let's make this bigger so we can see it. That doesn't look very good, right? So this M is obviously the wrong way. So I'm going to double click to get into point edit mode and then select the M right here. And then let's go back to our text style box and you can see there's a little arrow right here. We'll click that and change that to right. Boom. So now we have our circle monogram. So I have my circle monogram done. Now let's go over and make sure I have this the right size. So one thing to keep in mind when you have text in here, this box right here, while it's still text, is going to give you the size of the text box. And let me double click and extend this text box so you can see what I'm talking about. So now it gives me the size of this whole thing. So I'm gonna go right here, right click and make compound path. What I've just done is I've converted it over to an object instead of text, and then we're all set to go. So now we have this right here. So this is set to about 4 inches wide, which I think is good. Let me just go over and stretch it out a tiny bit more so it's closer to 4 inches. All right, so we're all set with that. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do my next monogram, so LPM. Same process, and let's do TRW heart mono, and we'll do the 3-letter as well. And then let's just complete the process and do the same thing. And then let's select this one and then make this right. Okay, so I'm gonna go to the beginning of this with it on left. I'm gonna go right here, do my exclamation point, and we have a heart around this one. Now sometimes you may have something weird with this M right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna break apart my letters. The way I'm gonna do that is I'm gonna convert my letters over to path. So the difference between compound path and path is that they're both converting my letters over to an object or lines. Compound path flattens it into one big shape, which is this. Path will keep them separate. So just like letters are separate parts that make a word, then what we have will have all these separate objects grouped together. So we're gonna right click, convert to path, and then right click again and ungroup it. So now all of these are individual, and I can just use this to nudge over my heart. So I don't want to do it too much because it'll misalign the rest of it. So we're just going to kind of even it out. I know it's a little bit uneven right here, but I would rather have it look centered in the heart. So we'll just take this whole thing, select it all, right click, make compound path. Now my pouch is a little bit smaller, so I'm going to make this closer to about 3 inches wide. What I'm really looking for is the height. So let's go ahead, make this about 3 inches wide. I'll do 3.2, whatever. And now we're all set to cut. So I'm going to select both of my objects, select both of them, right click and flip horizontally, and we'll set it up here. Now I'm going to be cutting this on the new Siser metal in bronze. If you have seen the video that I put up with the Tiger Lily or the Siser metal when it came out earlier this year, you'll know that Siser metal does cut a little bit better when you have it with the cutting mat. So I'm going to keep my software set up to have a cutting mat. I'm going to load my material and cut it, and then I will see you when I'm ready to press. Alright, so I am ready to press, so you may recognize these bags from my Target haul. I have the cute little jewelry bag and a cosmetic pouch. And so this bronze I thought looked really nice on here. It's got that nice coppery look. And so this circle is going to fit pretty perfectly on here, which I think is really cool. And I like it because I like big monograms. And I also lucked out because I didn't measure it and I hoped that it would fit, and it did. So everyone wins. All right, so because this is faux leather, you guys know I've pressed stuff like this before. So there's a couple things you want to try to keep in mind. One, you want to lower your temperature. The good thing about something like this is that because it's like a bag or whatever, it's not like you're actually going to need to put it through the wash. So you have a little bit more leeway with just how it's pressed and everything. And I'm just looking for a good pressing pillow. See if I have anything good in here. By the way, everyone who's in our crafting group and recommended this IKEA drawer, thank you. It's awesome. Actually, I'm not going to use this pillow. It's not worth it. So just be careful with the zipper here. We're going to get good pressure anyway. Now, I also lowered my heat press to 270 degrees. Again, same premise. Because we're not washing it, we have a little bit more leeway with that as well. Let's go ahead and line this up. I'm going to bring this over to the side a little bit more. All right, so we have that all set. So again, this is the Siser metal and bronze. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this just to be safe. I'm going to push this up against here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to press this for like a second or two. Because what I'm looking for is for this to kind of stick down. And then I can finish the press later, because we want to have the proper amount of dwell time or time that heat is on this. And so one thing to keep in mind is the metal is a cold peel. So we're just going to kind of let it sit a minute or two to cool off, peel off this carrier, and then finish up our press. Okay, I tried peeling this up and it was coming up a little bit. So we're going to go ahead, increase our pressure, and press it for a little bit longer just to be safe. And this happens, I mean, I'm pressing to something that doesn't typically press to, because why would I go by the restrictions given to me? So we're going to go through, let's increase our pressure, and go ahead, and I'll press it a little bit longer too. Okay, so almost 10 seconds. So we're going to set this to the side. I'm going to put it upside down to let it cool, and then we'll be back to kind of see if that press worked out a little bit better. Okay guys, this is turning into a lab. So it's not really sticking very well. See how it's coming up? So I'm going to go ahead and bring up the pressure. And I'm going to make it hotter. So I'm just going to go back to 305. Let me go ahead and set this up to 305. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm increasing the pressure. And I'm going to do the whole 15 seconds. Here we go. All right, so I started peeling it up, but you can see right here it's coming up with it. Now that is a pressure issue. So what's happening is it's not getting enough pressure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little piece of cardboard, fold it up, and put it underneath here so I can lift up this area that needs to be pressed. And then let's do it again, but make sure it's all underneath the press. Okay, again, cold peel. Don't peel this up right away. It looks like maybe it went better. So we're gonna go ahead, zip this up, and let this cool. And I'm gonna try pressing my other bag. Now, if this doesn't work on here, you can try a little home iron or a mini iron with that, and I'm sure it'll be fine. All right, so here's my little cosmetics bag. I'm gonna put my monogram right on here. Let me just check it to make sure it's even. Now this is a little bit better because it has some stuffing in it to kind of make it even in the pressing. So I'm going to go ahead, take that. Let's go ahead and cover it. Now you could use some heat tape and put some heat tape down on this as well, but I'm not interested in doing that right now. So let's go ahead, bring this whole thing under there. Not whole thing, but everything that has our vinyl. And it closed. So we'll do this for 15 seconds as well. All right, so let's check it out. Look, my press didn't go all the way down. And I melted the bag. So, the moral of the story is don't press onto these little cosmetic pouches. Or if you do use a home iron, use shorter presses. I got a little ambitious. So, there we go. But I will say, the bronze looks really good on these. Let's see, this is kind of cooled off. Let's see how it looks now. Check it out! So this one did a little bit better. So we're half successful. So this is the new Tiger Lily in Metal. So on these little cosmetic pouches from the Target Dollar Spot. These are 100% polyester. So they can withstand the heat, but it's that texture that you're really looking out for. Okay, so here we go, guys. This is our fail. So you can see my bag is all melted. I didn't get it pressed all the way. Now, if we were doing a home iron, I think it would work, but I didn't use a home iron. I used a press because a lot of people want to use a press. So this one is like not the best idea. This one, I think, turned out okay. So we have our little bronze. I said Tiger Lily earlier, but this is bronze metal. Really cute. It's got that copper look. And I think it turned out really nice. So if you like this video, if you learned something, even if it is what not to do, then go ahead and give us a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any more tutorials.